गीता गदाधर शिवपति गौर भक्तवेन्ना Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone listen. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Krishna Jadavaya Namaha, Madhavaya 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 Namaha, Madhavaya 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 Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Krishna Hari Gopinath Jai Gangan Jai Krishna, Hari Guru Vaishnava Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Jai Radhe Radhe, Radhe Govinda, Jai Radhe Radhe, Radhe Govinda, Jai Radhe Radhe, Radhe Govinda, Jai Radhe Everyone please raise your hand from the Lord and please repeat after me loudly. I know so many of you came first time here, so please chant loud with me. This is for the pleasure of the Lord. Say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Jai Naru-gopal ki. Now everyone can do your obeisances. Jai Vishwad Brahmade Dasma Silavai Chan Bhakti Vedanta Swami Naru-gopal ki jai. Jai Sri Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Anand Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Virat Thakur ki jai. Prem Sloho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय, श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, जय श्री गौरिताय राधा मदन मोहन जगन्नाथ सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, जय श्री गोपाल की जय, ट्रांसलेशनल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय, ट्रांसलेशनल प्रसाद डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, गंगा मई जमुना माई की जय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि। All glories to the devotees, all glories to the devotees, all glories to the devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Now we will be singing the protection prayers known as the Nrsimha prayers. You can pull it up by typing Namaste Nrsimhaya, prayers for Nrsimhadev, and find them very good.
Namaste Studying the Shastras, studying the Vedas, Puranas, Srila Prabhupada's writings, and he dedicated his life to spread the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. He is currently now based in Mayapur Dham, but he travels primarily to Bangladesh. They have approximately 80 temples in Bangladesh. Did you know that? 80 ISKCON centers in Bangladesh, where the country is a majority Muslim country, 93%. And they have 80 or so temples. And so he runs the temples, all the temples there, and he's encouraging the devotees there. And Krishna consciousness is spreading in Bangladesh like wildfire. Literally like wildfire. So much so, even the government of India is supporting the ISKCON temples in Bangladesh, because they're looking out for the interest of the Hindus. So this is what is happening in Bangladesh. And I'm going to request all of you to join me in welcoming His Grace Naru-gopal Prabhu. Please put your hands together. So this is Naru-gopal Prabhu. I have known him for 38 years of my life. We went to the Gurukula, studied together. And now he is spreading Krishna consciousness. He is the regional secretary of Bangladesh. That means Jayapataka Maharaj is the GBC. And he is not able to travel. So Naru-gopal Prabhu, he is the person that is designated to take care of all the devotees and all ISKCON activities in Bangladesh. So thank you very much, Naru-gopal Prabhu, for joining us. And he'll be giving us some very beautiful, he's a very well-researched scholar in the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's going to share with us some very beautiful, inspirational pastimes and beautiful drops of nectar on the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki, Shri Shri Gauratai ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Sarvata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Tai Gaur Pramanande. All right. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Visitarine Mancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, I offer my respectful obeisances to all of you. Offer my gratitude to all of you for being here. Vedasara Prabhu this morning asked me to speak on renunciation. So I was told that for the last couple of weeks different topics have been discussed. So today's topic is renunciation. As soon as we hear renunciation, we get scared. That means we have to give up something. But if you're connected with this one, who are those devotees who are respected the most? Who are those devotees who are respected the most? Most renounced. The most renounced are worshipped. They are respected. Those who are less renounced, they are looked differently than those who are renounced. In India, I'm not so sure about in America, but in India, when you tell someone to become devotees, they get scared because they feel they have to give up. So they don't want to become devotees. They're scared that they have to give up so many habits They have to give up so many things that they're attached to. One of the most powerful person on the planet was Hiranyakashipu. He was so powerful that the demigods were his personal servants. He was so powerful, he occupied the palace of Lord Indra. All the demigods acted as his maidservants. Why? Because he renounced. Because he did penance. He gave up so many things. For thousands of years he was doing penance, austerity. As a result of that, he became so powerful. So if you want to become something, if you want to do something meaningful in life, you have to renounce certain things. Even in material sense, if you want to become a doctor, an engineer, if you want to be an established businessman, you have to do a lot of sacrifice. Who wants to study for hours and hours? But if you want to become something, you have to do that sacrifice. I don't know if you have been to Mayapur. Who here has been to Mayapur? Who has been to Mayapur? I'll ask a question to you. Then we'll see how many of you have really been to Mayapur. When you enter the main gate, there are two verses written on both the sides from Prabhupada's time. That symbolizes what Mayapur is all about. Can you tell me which are those two verses? When you enter the main gate, one verse is written on the right side, one verse is written on the left side. When you enter the main gate. I know. When I came to Mayapur, that was astonished me. I was just a small child when we came to Mayapur, the Gurukul. And we saw these two verses. So later on, we asked our principal why these two verses are there. These two verses are from Rupa Goswami. Talks about renunciation. The first verse, Anasaptasya Visayan, Yatharam Upayan Yute Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairaki Muchyate. Talks about real renunciation, of dovetailing everything in Krishna's service. And the other one is false renunciation. Prapanchya kataya buddha harisambandha vastuna mumuksuvi parityago vairagyam falguruti. Oh, this is mobile. I'm not going to touch, it's Maya. Oh, this is harmonium. I'm not going to touch, this is Maya. Oh, this is money, this is dollars, I'm not going to touch because this is Maya. Instead of that, you could actually utilize the harmonium in Krishna service. Take the money and engage that in Krishna service. You know, there are certain sadhus, they don't touch money. They will take, they will have their assistant take all the money, and then they go to the room and take all the money. But in public, you don't touch the money. Prabhupada went like this, give me money. I will utilize that in Krishna service. This is how the whole movement spread. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगम शिक्षार्थमेकम पुरुषम पुराण श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपम बुद्धिर्यस्तमहं प्रपद्ये. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, came to teach renunciation and devotion to his lotus feet. The more you become detached from the entanglement of material existence, meaning, the more Prabhupada says, the more you become Goswami or Swami, meaning the controller of the senses, meaning you are not the servant of the tongue. Whatever your tongue says, you listen. Oh, you want this? Okay, try 5, 10, 20 miles because you want to satisfy the tongue. Your ear wants to hear something, so you run hither and thither. The reason Mahaprabhu came is to take us all back to Godhead. And the process that he gave is Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Mayapur is the spiritual headquarters of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. No doubt why Prabhupada chose these 2 verses right at the entrance of our temple. Anasaktya Visaya and Prapanchikataya Buddha. One talks about the real renunciation, one talks about the false renunciation. Now, the power of renunciation is something that's beyond our comprehension. We talked about Hiranyakashipu. Little bit sacrifice he did, little bit renunciation he did. Look how powerful he became. Look at the renunciation of Prahlad Maharaj on the other hand. Both are powerful, no doubt. One is Falgu Vairagya, one is Yukta Vairagya. Prahlad Maharaj is Yukta Vairagya, Hiranyakashipu is Falgu Vairagya. Look at Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni.
Even more direct example is Dhruva Maharaj.
Ambarish Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj. Sorry, Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni is so powerful, he just ripped off one hair, put it on the ground. Here comes one of the most powerful demons, ready to devour Ambarish Maharaj. How did Durvasa Muni become so powerful? Because of renunciation, because of penance. Ambarish Maharaj, very renounced. Durvasa Muni, as soon as you hear Durvasa Muni, sage, Ambarish Maharaj, Grihastha, ruler of the planet. Durvasa Muni is so powerful, he could travel all over the world, all over the 14th planetary system. Now, Durvasa Muni created this demon. Was Ambarish Maharaj scared? No, he was just standing there very peacefully. What happened when Sudarshan Chakra came? Was Durvasa Muni peaceful? No, he was running for 1 year. Now, at the end of Mahaprabhu's and the pastime between Mahaprabhu and Skolavitsa Sridhar, Chaitanya Bhagavat says, Dhan nahi, John nahi, nahi ko pandit, ke chive ei sab Chaitanya bhakta. Kolabecha Sridhar did not have any finance, no disciples. He was not known to be the most scholarly person in Navadvip, to the point. In the middle of the night when Mahaprabhu told all the devotees, please get me Sridhar. Nobody knew who was Sridhar. They were all surprised in the middle of the night in the presence of all the exalted devotees. Who was not there? Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Gosai, Gadadhar Pandit, Suklambara Brahmachari, Murari Gupta Prabhu, Chandrasekhar Acharya, everybody was there. But Mahaprabhu was looking for Sridhar. So they asked him, who is Sridhar? Then Mahaprabhu said, go in the corner. Now there is two descriptions. One says at the last border of Antardvip, and some other description is there, it's part of Srimantadvip. Go there and you will see someone is chanting Krishna's name very, very loudly. Call him. Kolabecha Sridhar. Oh, Kolabecha Sridhar. Then immediately they recognized him. Kolabecha means one who sells banana leaf and bananas in the market. It's not like selling Apple, iPhones and iPad. In India, even now, what to speak of those days 500 years back, where practically everyone has a good piece of land. Everyone ate in a banana leaf. Even when we were in the Gurukul, practically every day we ate in banana leaf. Till recently, till 6-7 years back. Even all the guests that came to Mayapur, thousands of them, they actually ate in banana leaf because it is available very easily. So what to speak of 500 years back when everyone, and this was just a normal thing. So you could imagine it's not very expensive. Kolabecha Sridhar was maintaining his life by selling those banana leaf and banana flour. So devotees recognized him. Oh, Sridhar means one who sells banana leaf in the market. It is very, very difficult to recognize a true devotee, to understand who is real, renounced, and who is not. So through this pastime, Mahaprabhu is showing to us how careful we have to be to make sure that we don't make offenses, start categorizing devotees, oh, okay, he is more renunciate, he is less renunciate. Here, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Anasrita karma phalam, karyam karma karoti ya, sasanyasi chayogi cha naniraknir nachakriya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obliged is in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. Nahi kastit kshanamapi jatu tistatya karmakrit. We cannot just sit and not do anything. That is not possible. We have to be active. Even we are all sitting here, our mind is very active. So we have to eat. We have to think. We have to listen to music. We have to do something. So therefore Krishna says that because you must do something, Why not do something for me? Yagyarthat karmononyatra lokaya karmavardhana. Since you have to do something, you do it for me. So when you do it for yourself, that is not renounced order of life. But when you do it for Krishna, that is renounced. That is renounced order of life. And that's why Prabhupada is trying to show us by putting these two verses on the main entrance. One is dovetailing everything in Krishna service. That is real renunciation. And the other one is false renunciation. Internally, all desires are there, very, very strong. But externally, verbally, we just give up. We give that example. Some Mayavadi sannyasis, they don't want to touch money, or Prabhupada is putting each other's. So seemingly, that those who are not touching money, they renounce. Prabhupada is going like this, give, I'll utilize in Krishna service. As long as we're attached to material enjoyment, we'll not be able to concentrate on devotional service. That is renunciation. Not being attached to material enjoyment, that is renunciation. Renunciation and devotional service, they are internal, interdependent. It goes like a rail track, train track. They're parallel lines, renunciation and devotional service. So the more detached we become from material enjoyment, we become more attached to Krishna. By the mercy of the Lord, by our karma, whatever we have, we try to utilize that in Krishna service. Very interesting, the way Rupa Goswami glorifies Sanatana Goswami. He says, Purachino janma badhi bhavasat bhakti mathura. He is paying respect to Sanatana Goswami by saying, I offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Srila Sanatana Goswami, who is always very detached from material enjoyment, but very, very attached to Krishna. The perfect example of renunciation. So this is how Sanatana Goswami is glorified. As you know, both Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they were the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister of Bengal for a long time. Here, Rupa Goswami is describing Sanatana Goswami as the most renounced person. Bhakti Ratnakar, he says, why he says that? Sanatan Ruper Sadhan Je Prakar, Se Sakol Bistari Kohite Sadhakar. Who can describe the sadhana, the renounced order of life, the renounced practice that both Sanatan and Rupa Goswami did? Whatever they had, they engaged that resources, that opulence, in the service of Krishna. If you go to Ramkeli now, we just bought a very beautiful plot of land right next to Rupsagar. Rupsagar is where Rupa Goswami's house was, palace was. So the plan is there to build a beautiful project there. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they created their palace and surrounding gardens resembling Vrindavan Dham. কদম্ব কানন রাধাকুন শ্যামকুন তাতে বৃন্দাবন লীলা তথা করিয় চিন্তা. Still, if you go, there is Radha Kund is there, the Shyam Kund is there, different kunjas are there, still there. Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami had that resources. So they were most renounced, engaged everything in Krishna service. When they gave that service up, went to Vrindavan, they were living in different trees, under different trees of Vrindavan. The consciousness was the same when they were there as the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister of Bengal. Real renunciation. When Mahaprabhu met Mukunda Sarkar, Narahari Sarkar, you know, every day we sing, Narahari Adikori Chamara Dhulai. So Narahari Sarkar is the younger brother, Mukunda Sarkar is the elder brother. Raghunandan Thakur is the son of Mukunda Sarkar. The three of them are there in Puri. So Mahaprabhu told Mukunda Sarkar, you're a grihastha and you're a doctor. So earn money. Mahaprabhu, you read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, is there. Mahaprabhu is telling Mukunda, you earn money. You engage that resources in Krishna service. That is your renunciation. Narahari, you're not married. You stay with me. And you preach. That is your renunciation. Raghunandan, you are a small boy. I see how devoted you are to Gopinath. You worship Gopinath. You think the three instructions are different? He is telling Mukunda to earn money. You're a doctor. He was not an ordinary doctor. He was the doctor of the king of Bengal at that time. You earn money. Tells Narahari, you stay with me and preach. Tells Raghunandan, you worship Gopinath. Says, it's the same instruction. Purpose is the same. And they understood accordingly. And they executed that. That is true renunciation. Wherever Rupa and Sanatana Goswami was, wherever Mukunda Sarkar, Narahari Sarkar, or Raghunandan Thakur were, Sada Utkontit tar darshan lagiya. The very purpose of their life is to serve and to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's it. Whether it is Kolabecha Sridhar, who had nothing, yet he had everything. When Mahaprabhu went to the house of Kolabecha Sridhar's house is described as the very storehouse of love of Godhead. Now he had a thatched roof, and there were a lot of holes in his roof. He was wearing clothes totally ripped. So Mahaprabhu went there. He started to tell Kolabecha Sridhar in front of everybody. Everyone knows you are very poor. But I know you are one of the richest person in the planet. And I will describe your opulence to the whole world. And today, after 500 years, we are still talking about Kolabecha Sridhar. Because through his renunciation, meaning giving up sense enjoyment, but 100% attached to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said to Kolabecha Sridhar that I have been defeated by your love, by your renunciation. I am totally yours. Tulasi dalamatrena jalasya chalukenava vikrinite swamatmanam bhaktavya bhaktavatsala. Please hear this word, vikrinite. What does vikrinite means? means to sell. It's a normal Bengali Sanskrit word. Bikrinite swamatmanam. The Lord is selling himself to the devotees. Bikrinite swamatmanam. He told Vasudeva Datta, because Vasudeva Datta was he was a grihastha. He was so renounced that whatever he was earning, just giving in charity, totally oblivious to whatever he had, not even knowing how he would maintain his family the next day. So much so, Mahaprabhu told Sivananda saying, so Sivananda, Vasudeva Datta is so renounced, he is a grihastha, he does not keep any money for tomorrow. You please keep the accounts for Vasudeva Datta. Mahaprabhu told all the devotees, please know it for certain that my body belongs to Vasudeva Datta. Here Krishna is saying that Bikrinite swam atmanam bhaktavya bhaktavatsala. That the Lord sells himself to the devotees. Why? Because they are completely renounced from this world, but totally attached to Krishna. This is renunciation. Renunciation from false ego, from false identification, from false possessions of I and mine. This is real renunciation. Real renunciation is humility. Real renunciation is respecting everyone. Real renunciation is complete attachment to the lotus feet of the Lord. That is real renunciation, which attracts the attention of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mahaprabhu cried like a child in front of all the devotees when he saw the renunciation of Srivas Thakur. Because his own son died in the middle of the night in the kirtan. Srivas Thakur goes inside the house and sees his son is dead. All the ladies are crying, and he is telling them, I humbly request you to please stop crying right now, because the Lord is dancing and chanting with his eternal associates. Now, if the Lord hears your cry, there will be hindrance to his happiness. So you can cry a little later, not now. Of course, they don't stop crying, they keep on crying. So he said, if you keep on crying, I will jump myself in the Ganga and I will die. So please stop. So they stopped. They all went to the kirtan. After some time, Mahaprabhu stopped the kirtan. And it's a long pastime. But anyway, at one point, the devotees tell the Lord that Srivas Thakur's son died some hours back. So Mahaprabhu is telling Srivas Thakur that, why haven't you told me that? Your own son died, and you're keeping quiet, you're coming and dancing with me in the kirtan. Why didn't you tell me? Srivas Thakur says, my Lord, my one son died. I'm ready to sacrifice everything what I possess. Even if I had 1,000 children, and if all of them left their bodies, I can tolerate that. But I cannot tolerate any hindrance to your happiness. That I cannot tolerate. So Mahaprabhu began to cry in front of all the devotees, saying, how will I leave all these devotees and take sannyas? That is real renunciation. Srivas Thakur is an example of real renunciation. Ambarish Maharaj is an example of real renunciation. Pratap Maharaj is an example of real renunciation. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is an example of real renunciation. Kolavata Sridhar is an example of real renunciation. So here you can see you have these exalted personalities. Outwardly, some of them seem to be very, very poor. Some of them seem to be very, very rich kings, emperor of the world, like Ambarish Maharaj, and he is described as a perfect example of renunciation. So it all, look at this. Mahaprabhu calls Kolavata Sridhar, who seemingly has nothing, no material opulence. Mahaprabhu tells him, Prabhu bole Sridhar Magiya, Prabhu bole Sridhar Bachiya Magomar, par Astu Siddhi Diva Aji Tomar Kochor. He says, I'm here. Tell me what you want. I'll give you the 8 opulence, auspicities. I'll make you the emperor of the world. Just tell me. I'll finish with the one interesting pastime. Of course, Kolavata Sridhar does not accept anything. Real renunciation. You heard the name Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj? Yes?
Yes.
Now his servant was Bihari Baba. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj lived for 147 years. Interestingly, because he could not walk, Bihari Baba would carry him in a basket. 6 months he would be in Vrindavan, 6 months he would be in Navadvip Dham. And Bihari Baba would carry him in a basket from Navadvip to Vrindavan, Vrindavan to Navadvip. So, Bihari Baba says, because someone asked him, how do you carry Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj from Vrindavan to Navadvip and Navadvip to Vrindavan? He says, it's very easy. Actually, when I pick him up, when I try to pick him up, he is a little bit heavy. But once I put him on my head, he is lighter than a small piece of cotton. So for his whole life, Bihari Baba served Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. 6-7 days before Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj leaves his body, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj calls Bihari Baba. So, Bihari, you have served me for so many decades. Now, I want to give you something. You choose. I am ready to give you 4 to 5 trucks of money. Truck, you know truck? Big trucks. In India we call lorry. Here you call trucks. That is a transport. So I am ready to give you 4 to 5 trucks full of money. Or you want me? So Bihari Baba joked. He said, Gurudev, you have nothing in your ashram. He is living in Koladvip, still ashram is still there. He says, where would you get the money from? And not only some small amount, you're talking about 4 to 5 trucks of money. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj told Bihari, he said, Bihari, look, see, I often meet Mahaprabhu. If I give the Lord little indication that I want something, you think Mahaprabhu will not give me 4 or 5 trucks of money? What do you think? Bihari Baba knows the opulence. You see, Bihari Baba is from Bihar, who does not know how to read Bengali. Just some time back, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj told Bihari, Bihari, get me a copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Go to this place and get a copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So So Bihari Baba got a copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj said, sit in front of me. You know how to read Bengali? No, Gurudev, I don't know how to read Bengali. Nothing? Not a single word? He says, no. So sit down. He said, open the book. He opened the book of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He does not know how to read. He said, look at the page. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj said, just look at the page. So here is Bihari Baba looking at the page. Within moments, he begins to read beautifully. This is the power of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. So now Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj is saying that I will meet Mahaprabhu if I give some indication to the Lord to send me 4 or 5 trucks of money. You think the Lord will not send? Yes, Gurudev. Tell me, what do you want? You want the 4 to 5 trucks of money, or you want me? Bihari Baba understood. He says, my dear Lord, I do not want anything. I do not want the 4 to 5 trucks of money. I just want you. Bihari Baba was told by Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, I am very happy that you told me that. I am giving you benediction. That no matter what happens to you, even if your body is cut to pieces, please do not stop chanting. Krishna will take care of you. There will be no scarcity in your life. You will live for 100 years. At the end of your life, you go back to Godhead. Saying this, after 4 to 5 days, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj left his body in Koladvip, in Navadvip, at the age of 147 years. Real renunciation. He lived by that principle, and he taught his disciple by that very principle that he lived of true renunciation. In our Krishna consciousness movement, Prabhupada taught the real renunciation. Nachao, nachao, Prabhu, nachao se mate. Bhakti nai, Ved nai, name khub phoro. Bhakti Vedanta nam, eve sarthak karo. My name is Bhakti Vedanta. I don't have bhakti, nor do I have Vedanta. I don't have devotion, nor do I have knowledge. I'm simply a puppet in your hands. Do whatever you want to do with me. Real renunciation, and through that renunciation, ISKCON has been created. On the basis of the renunciation of Prabhupada, we're all sitting here today. This is the power of renunciation. If you want to get an example of material power of renunciation, look at Hiranyakashipu. You want to be powerful? You want to be rich? Materially speaking. Can you do that without renunciation? No. Can you become more powerful than Hiranyakashipu? Indra was his servant. Chandra was his servant, including Narada Muni, who had to glorify Hiranyakashipu, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. How did Hiranyakashipu get that power? Through renunciation. So through renunciation, if you can be so powerful materially, what power will you get through real renunciation? That is complete detachment from material enjoyment, but complete attachment to the lotus feet of Krishna. Whatever you all have, whatever time you have, we don't know how much time we have. Whatever resources that you have, don't tail that. Utilize that to serve Krishna. বার্ধক্যে এখন ভকতি বিনোদ কাঁদিয়া কাতর অতি না ভজিয়া তোরে দিন বৃথা গেল এখনো কি হবে গতি. Bhaktivinoda Thakur at the end of his life, this is to teach us. He is repenting. Oh, what have I done? Whole life I have wasted my whole life and now I am old. What will happen to me? Oh Lord, please help me. It's still not too late yet. Please take advantage of what Prabhupada has given us. Accept the true renunciation. Give up the false renunciation. Try to be detached from material entanglement. Try to be attached to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki, Krishna Guru Govind ki, Jai Gokulam.
Dilip Kumar Bania, Kavita Bhandari Bania, to come up along with their family, please. I'm also requesting Subham to please come with your mother and your father and your whole family to perform the arati. Is Mangalarti Devi here? Mangalarti is not here.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Srila Prabhupada ki. And yes, give garlands. Mataji also. Everyone, Haribo! Okay, wait.
Haribo!
Anyone here? Please come, Vinaji. I spent a lot of time in colleges because I spend time with young students, trying to help them in their lives, whichever way I can. And it's very interesting, the kind of role models that they have in this world. And one of the common things that you'll hear is how, their mother raised them, or their grandmother raised them, or their father raised them, or some sort of an idea that you get that they were raised by single parents. And it's very difficult for young people having role models where the mother or the father or the grandmother were the pivotal anchor in their lives. Here we see Vinod Sharma ji and Veena ji. They have been married for 34 years. So I request you to please put your hands together really loud and celebrate these beautiful role models that we have in our temple. Put your hands together as loud as you can. Haribo! One more time. Haribo! Haribo! So their daughter Subham, she graduated from University of Florida and she's now a professor at KSU. Which is Kennesaw State University, and she's helping making cookies and things for other college outreach programs that we have. Part-time, full-time professor and part-time cookie maker to spread Krishna consciousness. So it's so nice that the whole family is here, and we're so grateful. So we're going to raise both our hands as high as you can, just a little bit higher. We're going to pray for Vinod Sharma ji and Veena ji and Subham as well, that they have a beautiful, long, prosperous Krishna conscious life. Together, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
She didn't even tell us, it was all secret.
Yes, it was a secret. She didn't want the parents to know. So the parents found out they're celebrating their 34th anniversary in front of all of you. Good job, Shivam. Thank you, Subhan. You did a good job. So, I'd like to request Dilip Kumar Bania, Kavita Bhandari Bania to please come up.
Yeah, I'm not here. I just want to announce it that...
Please come, please come. So, you want me to do it or you want to do it?
No, I just want to say...
Yes, please come, Sangeeta. I'm going to introduce Sangeeta to you. I forget her initiated name. Someone help me out. Suvarna Chitra Devi is her spiritual name. Please come.
I'm sorry to announce this. My friend's son died not long ago, but his friends and family sponsored it. Not the Dilip Bania and Kavita Bania because they're not here. That's why we want to, sponsor behalf of his passed away. It's just really sad. Thank you so much for participating, all my friends and family and my, he's like my kid. He's my own kid. And he passed away. I don't want to say anything, I don't know anything. It's just an accident. And he's just 19 years old when he passed away. And it's so hard to be, announce this here. Lord Krishna, please, he can be in the right place and right, go back to Godhead. I don't know what to say. Please pray for him and pray for his family. And I don't know anything about it. Just Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Now please, you can pray for better pen.
Okay. So I'll give you, I'm not sure if everybody understood what she was saying. I want to make it a little bit more clear so you really understand what she was trying to say. The message she was trying to convey is this boy who passed away, he was 19 years old. It's a very young boy. Sudev? Raise your hand, Sudev. Sudev, you see this young boy? We did a Krishna camp and he was here, right? So this boy, we did a Krishna camp, we do camps with the children. And he came and he stayed with me for it was a week. And he was getting trained to become a devotee of Krishna. And these boys, they're all together. Your friends are here. And very unfortunate, because he had a very promising life. There was no problems at home. Everything was going perfect. Everything was fine. And he was found missing. Almost a week later they found him. And the circumstances were very unpleasant. And it was so unpleasant that it's hard for the families to comprehend. 19-year-old kid, and his body was found a week later in a dumpster. And the parents' hearts have been completely broken. No explanations. Police have been investigating, nothing. No friends, no trails, nothing. And this is a boy who actually was very committed to his spiritual practices. He's a very sweet young boy. And I remember him when I was leading the little summer camp with the children. So it is extremely sad for the parents of this child, Dilip Kumar and Kavita. They're not here, they're in absolute shock. And Sudev, and of course you met Suvarna and Ramananda. The community was very tight in the Nepali community. And they all helped to raise this boy. The whole Nepali community is actually devastated from this. No explanations. There's no trails, they have no answers. So it is a very deep sense of grief that the whole community is going through. And we request you to all, please pray to Krishna, pray to their lordships, that the whole Nepali community gets strength and courage through your prayers. And this boy, his name is Dinak, who was 19 years old, that his soul is resting in peace at the lotus feet of their lordships. So I request you to please, I would like you to all please raise your hands. We're going to pray for this boy. Little higher. And for the whole Nepali community. Together, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. And Suvarna Chitra Devi would like to give Bhagavad Gita to all his friends. So before you leave, please come and grab a Bhagavad Gita. And all of you, please come. have last darshan of the deities, and prasadam will be served in the temple room.
They're here? No, are they here? Just come.
Are getting Bhagavad Gitas from His Grace Naru-gopal Prabhu. And on the 25th of December, on Christmas Day, please don't forget, we're going to be celebrating Christmas here in the temple. And we request you to all please come and join us. The program will start at 6:30 p.m. And also, if you do not have any plans for New Year's Eve, we're going to do a kirtan here with a midnight arati. So we'll start 2022 with a beautiful darshan and arati of the Lordships. Let's come.